time for our weekly financial forecast. And of course, we are joined by Tim Fitzwilliams of Fitzwilliams Financial. Always good to see you. Thank you so much for taking some time with us.
Of course. Always great to see you as well, Janet.
Yeah, we want to talk about your book.
Okay, sure.
This is a great time to talk about your book. Do you have the green light to retire? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And you talk about a balanced approach in that book. So tell us more about what that balanced approach means.
Yeah, so I find that a lot of people, when they go to retire, they're so focused on the market that a lot of times psychologically they don't do what they want to do. They don't go have the same fun. Even though they may have the money, it just messes with people's heads. If the market's down, they get concerned and they may not take that cruise or go out on that trip with their family. It's just a reality.
Yeah.
You know, you would think it's not, but that's what we see time and time again. So when I say a balanced approach, I like the idea of making sure your income is covered. A portion of your portfolio should be devoted to basically replacing your paycheck. The goal is to work and retire with the same income you once had while you were working. So if you can balance your portfolio so that a portion of it is dedicated for income purposes, and there's many ways to skin that cat, from using guarantees like annuities or in the market with current income strategies, dividends, preferred stock, different things like that. There's many ways to do it, but if you can focus on an income strategy, here's how I look at it. What's the harm? If you have too much of it, then you just reinvest it back in.
Right. And too much is a good thing.
I like the idea of a balance because then, even if the market's down, Janet, you know you have your income coming in, the bills are paid, you got a little extra money, go on and do what you need to do.
Go ahead.
Let that money that's exposed heavily into the market, to the higher risk profile, let that be the fluff money, the extra. And then we find that retirees are much happier.
When they relax.
Yeah, they're relaxed. They're taking trips. They're not worried about the market. Sure, it's concerning always if there's a market volatility. But they're not as worried because the income is there to support them to do whatever they want. And at the end of the year, they have a whole lot extra. Then they just plug it right back on into the more aggressive strategy.
And that
keep the ball rolling.
That leads us into the active versus tactical.
Absolutely, yeah. Because when you're doing it yourself, it's hard to be active. Active meaning like if some significant event occurs, can I do something today to make a change in my portfolio? And this is very difficult as an individual, especially in your 401k or IRA, TSP, alphabet soup, whatever your plan may be, because those are designed differently. It can be very difficult to move quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So being active is really important, but the other half of that is tactical. Having a logic and a science to why you're being to the reason of why you're being active, Janet, not just being active, but tactical, making a change in the portfolio.
Being more strategic, I guess.
Correct. To have a given result that you want, which could either be to lose less in the downside, which we think is just as important. To be honest with you, it's more important for retirees. That's our belief. It's more important for retirees to lose less in the downside than it is to try to make more in the upside.
Yeah. Well,
now, when you're working, it's different, but when you're retired, it's a different game plan.
Yeah, strategy there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that is good advice, and yeah, we'll have to get a copy of your book and read it. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And the financial forecast, it airs every Tuesday in our 4 p.m. news. If you have questions you want answered, you can email us at financialforecast@13newsnow.com, and we'll get some answers for you.